You're confusing people. You're confusing yourself with your paintings.
I am my paintings.
What do you mean by consolation and hope? You might be asking too much of people.
I'd like to share my vision with people who can't see what I see the way I see.
Yes, but why?
Because my vision is closer to the reality of the world. I can make people feel what it's like to be alive.
Playing Vincent van Gogh, we've seen it in movies before. I've never seen it quite from this point of view because it's about the creation. It's about that, right?
It's very much, it's not a traditional, it's not a biopic. It deals with the last years of his life and really deals very much with what he does day to day, painting. It deals with painting, the process of making something. And of course, it deals with some of his troubles, but it doesn't really concentrate on that.
The color palettes, the cinematography, my God, it's like watching a painting here.
Beautiful, beautiful, and a real pleasure to shoot because, there was a very strong script that dealt with, dialogue and portraiture, but there was another part of the movie that every day we'd kind of invent, and that was the silences and the scenery. Sometimes we'd finish, Julian, in the movie, Van Gogh talks more than once about wanting to paint fast, not being too careful, because it feels like things flow better that way. Julian would work quite fast, and sometimes we'd finish before the day was done, and then we would go, finished with the scripted scenes, and we'd go out in nature, and we'd paint, and we'd find places to be. It was a real interesting process.
Wow. So you're out there in nature. Nature helped you.
It led the way. It led the way. And the other nice thing was they were all places that he was. In fact, there are landscapes that we were in that are recognizable in some of his paintings. It's a very powerful feeling. There's one shot at the end where you see me kind of smiling, and it was an improvisation where I'm just kind of being in the field. And I had a very strong feeling that day. And when I finished, someone said, that's the field that he painted one of his last paintings in. And then I found out later he was buried about, 300 yards from where we were. So obviously that helps.
Julian Schnabel, who made the film, described it as based on the letters that they had from him, facts such as they're known to be facts, hearsay, and pure invention. I love that description of him.
No, it's a movie. This is it's a movie, and it's not meant to tell anyone who Vincent van Gogh was. It's about a painter made by a painter. And that's really key, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. I've known Julian for many years, but he's been thinking about Vincent van Gogh all his life. Yeah. He has a real personal relationship to him. So he gave me this beautiful opportunity to be his Vincent, to be his creature. He taught me how to paint. It really changed the way I see things, not just from a painting standpoint, but how I see the rise and fall of things. Because when you get down to it, painting is really a device to show things as they are. And if you get hung up on, just realism or representation, you're only seeing part of the picture. But Van Gogh had a knack for, finding the soul of something in the invisible.